Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Anime Iceberg. I'm Megan,
And I'm Meg.
and today we're back with a bonus episode because we watched yet another sports anime, and this time it was Run with the Wind.
Yeah, we just wanted to talk about it a little bit. And
Mm-hmm. It was my second time seeing it. I had watched it, oh, three, 3 years back, 4 years back, but I actually saw it in dub, but only the sub is available on Crunchyroll. So it was a new experience for me in a different way. But I'd kind of forgotten a couple of things that happened, so I was glad to go back to it. And I was also glad that there's, a running anime because I feel like all the other sports that are covered are like, ball sports like soccer and basketball and volleyball. So,
yeah,
all right, so if you've never heard of Run with the Wind, uh, it was 23 episodes long, was that right?
yes.
Yeah. So it has obviously that anime adaptation, but it was originally a 2006 Japanese novel, and it got a manga and a live action film adaptation, and then the anime. So there's been a lot of iterations of this. The synopsis, according to Wikipedia, is Kakeru, a former elite runner at high school, is chased for stealing food. He's saved by a Kansei University student named Haiji, who is also a runner. Haiji persuades Kakeru to live in the old dormitory Chikuseso, where he plans to team up with fellow residents to enter the Hakone Ekiden Relay Marathon, one of the most prominent university races in Japan. Kakeru soon finds out that all of the residents, except for Haiji and himself, are complete novices. So it's pretty cool. It's got 10 guys who are the runners in the sport. So it's a very limited cast, but that means you really get to know the guys within the short time that they're there. So we've got Kakeru Kurahara, Haiji Kiyose, Takeshi Sugiyama, or Shindo. That's Shindo. They have nicknames for a lot of the guys, so we wouldn't know them by their actual names. Akane Kashiwazaki is Prince. Taro Jo is Jota. Jiro Jo is Joji. And they're twins. Iwakura, Yuki. Musa Kamala, and he's a cool character because he's actually a international student who's from Tanzania. Yohei Sakaguchi, King. Akihiro Hirata, Nico. And then we also have a couple of supporting cast members. So there's Hanako Katsuta. She's Hana is a high school student who helps the college boys. She's kind of like their manager. She helps them time their runs and things like that. So it's just, I don't know, it's a really, really cool show about teamwork, but helping each other realize you can push your limits and do more. And something cool about it is that it is a production IG anime, which is the same studio that produces Haikyuu, and the composer for the show is Yuki Hayashi, and he's also the composer for Haikyuu. So you get the same vibes from both shows.
hmm Definitely. I picked up right away that it was the same
Hmm.
studio because of
You
just
picked
'cause
up
of the
before I
eyes.
did. You looked at the eyes and went, "That's Haikyuu," and then the credits open. I'm like, "Oh, you're right. It's production IG." And
Yeah.
yeah, the soundtrack is amazing, and I used it as study music all the time. And the intros and outros, there are two intros, two outros. They're all good.
Yeah. So we thought we'd just discuss some of the things we wanted to talk about that happened in the show and our favorite characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Something I picked up on because I am a runner is I really appreciated how each of the guys have a different running style. Like they took such care in animating all of them. Like some of them move their shoulders a little bit more, some of them don't move their shoulders at all. Uh they develop form as they get better at running. Kakeru and Haiji definitely have very proper running styles with straight backs and their arms are moving very smoothly. So it's I don't know, it's very like they must have studied runners and copied that down for their animation.
Mhm. I also really like that their, hair was
Whoosh.
like especially Kakeru. I personally thought he looked better. His hair
With his
looked better
hair
when
floofed.
he was running.
Mhm.
Um, but I appreciated that.
You got so excited when Prince decided to tie his hair back.
Hey, like I always say, I didn't necessarily think like Prince was attractive or anything, but
Mm.
sometimes it just takes a haircut
Hairstyle
or a
change.
style change to make a guy attractive. And I definitely thought he looked better with his
Yeah,
hair like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I will say like at the beginning, Haiji's methods to get everybody to run were a little bit sketch to me. I think I already mentioned this in the episode where we
Yeah.
talked about this, but I just like okay, really the part that I didn't appreciate was like he forced everybody to do this and then was like, okay, you have to drop everything else. And that was like too much for me, especially poor Prince,
Yeah.
like threatening to kick him out. Like, that's so mean. Uh, it
Haiji was
also
like,
was funny.
yeah, but he kind
Mhm.
of made me feel like Daichi and Suga from Haikyuu. That's like them if they like merged together or something like that. That kind of personality, the tough love, but he also cares about the guys.
Mhm.
I I don't know. I was a little bit like, yeah, geez, dude, don't destroy their livelihoods. But at the same time, I don't know, there's some cultural differences, so maybe making them drop their jobs is kind of like they lived in the track and field dormitory without even knowing it. So I don't
They
know.
didn't
I
they
don't
didn't
know.
know though. That's the thing. I
Well,
don't know. It's
Kakaru had the bright idea though. He looked at Haiji with like a death glare. And he said, "You can't make them do this."
yeah. But I mean in the end it worked out. It like made them stronger and I think better people, but
Yes,
it
yes.
still was like, "Hi G, come on, bro."
I think each of
Um,
the guys, so I'll briefly talk about my experience with running sports. I did track from sixth grade until my last year of college, so a really big chunk of my life. But I was always a sprinter and a hurdler in track and field. But when I was a junior in high school, I decided to do cross country in the fall months, and I did cross country junior and senior year, and then in college, sophomore, junior, and senior year. Um, and I'm not a good distance runner. I enjoy it, but definitely switching over to that was a huge challenge for me. If you want to know the struggle of finishing my first race, check out my YouTube channel, Mangaka Megan, because I made a video about it. I drew myself just dying during that race. But yeah, it's something you kind of grow to love. And when you get that runner's high after you finish a race, it's something that it gets addictive. It's like the healthy the healthy kind of addiction, like, I wanna feel this again, and I think it kind of bleeds into other areas of your life or, like, healthy body, healthy mind, you know? But, yeah, I think each of the guys in the track team are, like, I don't know, Prince is the absolute beginner, a couple of the guys, like the twins, are the "I'm athletic, but I'm not a runner," and needed a little bit convincing. And I think, Musa is definitely I appreciated Musa. He was like the, "I can do this, I'm athletic, I need some convincing to do running," but once he was in, he was like, very steady with the team and very, a good source of support for them emotionally speaking. Because running is just a huge mental game.
mhm. It is, and it's one that I cannot win. Um,
Every time Prince showed up on screen, you're like, "Oh, look, it's me."
yeah, yes.
I'm
No,
sure the running
I
form wasn't as bad as his, though.
I don't know about that. Okay, yeah, no, it wasn't, but it was pretty bad. I would say I was more on par to like King a little bit.
Mm.
Um, I also have some running experience. I don't know if I told you this, but when I was like 12, I really wanted to get my ears pierced, and my dad was against it. But he told me that if I trained for and ran a 5K, then I could get my ears pierced.
Wow.
And I did. I like trained for, I don't know, a couple months, and then I ran the 5K, and then I got my ears pierced. And
That's a lot of strength for that age.
yep. And then I did actually end up running a couple more 5Ks. Like it was kind of became like a family thing because my parents at that point were like trying to get into shape and stuff. Um, but then I, my first year of high school, I ran track and I basically hurt like every single muscle in my leg. And it was horrible. And so I haven't run since. And I also hate running. I never enjoyed it, even though I did do it quite a few times. I just don't like it. But
Yeah. It's not for everyone, but I knew some guys, well, especially guys, like in high school and college, who once they were in, it was just this obsessive thing. But I also, well, like I said, I was usually one of the slowest, if not the slowest, on any given team I was on. So, I understand that feeling of being the weak link in the chain, but the girls' side of our teams were never really high competing anyway. Our high school boys team made it pretty far, but in college, my roommate and one of the best friends I've ever had, Ava, is Ava. She's a very high level athlete for distance running, and she actually made it to nationals in our leagues for track and cross country. She took me along to nationals for cross country. I was her plus one. I was carrying her bag and her shoes and keeping her sane the night before in the hotel room and just being like, "You got this, you got this." But she did very well. She is also anemic, like Haiji is. So she loved this show because she's like, "Hey, representation, this is awesome." Um, and I do remember when we were at nationals for track and field, she was doing the 10K and the 5K, and when she was done, her feet were bleeding. It was really bad.
ugh, yeah, not fun.
Okay, I have to mention the funny, I don't know why this is so funny to me, but so Prince cannot run at first. He has really horrible form, and I mean, they fix it, which is great, but the twins make fun of him. And there's like a whole bunch of memes going around online of them just like copying he kind of looks like a Titan from Attack on Titan when he's running.
Yeah, he does.
I will never not laugh at that. It's
Uh,
just
it is so funny. Um, yeah, I think okay, the saddest part of the anime was Shindo, like his final race. We don't want
poor
to
little
say like
guy.
too much, but it was so
Yeah.
sad. Like,
He's the cinnamon roll. Of course something's gonna happen to him.
yeah.
It's sports anime. You can't die, so you do the next best thing.
Mm-hmm. Ugh, I was so sad for him because he worked so hard and then just he was
No.
miserable.
And he was the best at doing hills, which that
Mm-hmm.
was another thing that reminded me of Ava. Like they came to a hill while they were training and he would smile and sprint up it and I was like, "Oh, you're like her."
uh, yeah. And okay, and the final thing is there was like the whole show, they were like somebody like Hana likes one of the twins. Who does she like? And at the end, Musa asks, but then they don't tell us the answer. But I think both of us were thinking the same thing, that we had the suspicion that it was neither of them. And
Yeah,
that
maybe she
she actually
liked
like
Kakadu.
Yeah, that was what we thought. Um,
Mhm.
but that whole thing that was cute though.
Yeah,
Their like friendship. Um,
yeah. I also liked Haiji's little character arc of him deciding should I run, shouldn't I run, what does this mean for me in my future? And he became a coach at the end, didn't he? Like when they did their time skip?
I, I think so. I was like
Yeah.
kind of confused because they just called it like teams or something like that.
Mm,
Or and I was like, I'm guessing he's coaching, but I don't know.
yeah.
Um,
It's pretty cool though. What goes around comes around.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, honestly, he was an amazing coach because he
He
took
could write a book
like
on how to,
seriously, he could.
well,
Like,
he was a lit student, right? He probably
yeah,
will write a book.
like that's like I mean that is something that you see in like a sports movie. Like
Yeah,
exactly what happened in the anime. Um, but yeah, I will say in the end, it did not inspire me to run.
it did me. I remember after I finished it the first time, that was the summer I was working at camp, and they have trails everywhere. So like I had my watch, my stopwatch with me, my wristwatch that I found on the ground at a track practice and reappropriated for myself.
I've done stuff like that. You're like, ooh,
Yep,
I
it's
found this.
still
It's
working.
mine
It's
now.
no one's claiming it. It's mine now.
Yeah.
But I would like go for runs in the morning before my shift started on the trails, and I was like, I don't know, just think about the guys from the show and be like, what running style is mine like? Or like I'd get to a hill and be like, all right, channel Shindo and get up it. And well, knowing that I will never be a Kakaru, but
Mhm.
I don't know. The only success I found with distance running was one time there was a 5K in my hometown when the fair was coming through, and it's like, raises money for the fair for the next year. So, my family was helping with like handing out water at the water stations. But I had some friends out of town who were coming in and they were gonna run, and I was like, yeah, I'll run. And they divide the times into like age group and gender. So I remember running and we did it in the morning so it wouldn't be too hot yet. But I was wearing an old uniform from college because I was graduated at that point, but I got to keep one of the old uniforms they weren't using anymore. And I got halfway through and I was at the water station and someone tried to hand me a cup and I was like, nope, I can't break my pace. I'm not drinking any water. And I kept going and I reached the finish line and the finish line was uphill, which was brutal, but I made it. And when they were announcing the results for my age group and gender group, I got third place. So I got to wear a medal home, and I was like, this means more to me than Olympic gold.
Yeah, I always stopped for water. I hate running, so like any chance I could get to grad to like walk, I would take it.
Well, you've got a
Um,
valid excuse for not liking running though, because you have that thing with your feet, but
yeah, I'm a cripple. Not actually, but sometimes I am. Um, yeah, I will say even though it did not inspire me to run, sports anime are like they're just the best because they
Mhm.
are inspiring. Like I think it like inspires you to work hard and work towards a goal
Not
and
give
I
up on your
just
dreams.
yeah and it's like it's also something where it's like there's action in the show like even though I will say watching the running actually was interesting but it's not the most exciting but it's like action that's like low stakes but also still like high enough stakes where you're like cheering them on and
High
like
emotional stakes.
yeah yeah um and it's just I don't know but I do love a good sports anime.
Yeah. I was gonna say low physical stakes, but I was like, running really destroys your body sometimes, so.
It does. It's not actually the best for your body but people do it
Says the
anyway.
swimmer. Says the swimmer.
Swimming is amazing for you. What are you talking about?
It's
It
amazing for
literally
you, but like drowning. Never mind.
That's
Whatever.
no, no. It works out like every single muscle of your body. And it's like it's not very hard on your body like running is, it's like hitting the pavement, like swimming is
Mhm.
everybody should swim.
Okay,
Anyway,
we'll cover free one of these days.
when we finally finish it. Uh, yeah,
Where's the last movie?
there's two movies that we haven't seen.
Mm.
Um, anyway, now we're gonna share our favorite characters and who we're most like.
Yes,
So,
we couldn't find a good character quiz, so we're just gonna say it and compare
yeah,
with each
well,
other and see.
yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My favorite characters were Prince and Shindo. Prince because I don't know, I just well, he's an underdog, so you like to root for him, but also his love of manga, I vibe with him so much. And Shindo because he's just the sweetest little thing, and
Mm-hmm.
he wants to run so his family can watch him on TV.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. What about you, Meg?
Yeah, I had a hard time picking just one favorite. So I really liked, in the end, I did really like Haiji. I liked his determination and I was super impressed with his coaching skills and he's like a good leader. And I don't know, I like that he like even especially the last race, like he knew it was gonna be his last, but he did it anyway.
You like those
And
strong leaders.
yeah, I do. Um, and then I did actually really like Kakaru.
Yeah.
Um, I appreciate like him like when he was getting in the zone. Even I didn't
Even though you
like
didn't
the
like the animation.
I didn't like the animation. Every time I was like, I don't need to see his butt. Please stop. But anyway, um, like I know what that feels like because I do get that way when I'm swimming. Like when you're just like in the zone.
Mhm.
Um, and like I felt for him. I felt for his journey.
Yeah.
Um, and then also I did appreciate Prince a lot. Like he is me running. Um, so it was great. And then who are you most like?
Well, I think I have a little bit of Prince in me because he's like quiet until he gets excited about the books he's reading. So there's that aspect. But I think that I'm a lot like Shindo because he's very loyal to his family, obviously. Um, he's also on the smaller side. His little leggies need to catch up with all the others running with him, and that is also me. But I think it's more of his willingness to try new things because he was like the first one to be like, yeah, Haiji, I'm behind this, let's run. And I kind of I kind of see that in myself. Like somebody will mention doing something and I'm like, yeah, I'm up for anything.
I would agree with that assessment. I feel like if you took the quiz, you would either get Prince or Shindo. Prince because of the reading.
Yeah.
Like that. uh, and I would say I am also like Prince because of the my hatred of running and the reading thing also. But I think I'm like Yuki, just like his terrible attitude. No.
Come on.
No, just like when he decided to like commit, like he went all in and he's like thinking logically about things and like
Mhm.
doing his research and stuff. And I think that would
Yes.
that would be me.
Also, Yuki and Shindo became very, very good friends throughout the series,
That's
so
true. It's
but I
perfect.
something very cute. So Shindo's name I think means something like Heaven's Child or whatever. That's his nickname though, so I don't know. But Yuki for his name, when he was running his leg of the race, it started snowing, and Yuki means snow, but it also means courage. And they were talking about how it takes a lot of courage to run the part that he was he was doing. So I thought that was very, very cool symbolism there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do, it's gonna be a real throwback for those of you that have done this before. Since there's no like character quiz, we're gonna play this game called Akinator, if you've heard of it. I remember doing this when I was like in elementary school, but it's like basically like you think of a character and then it asks you basically 20 questions and it tries to figure out what character you're thinking of. And
Yeah.
because this is such kind of a random show, we thought we would see if it can guess a character.
I will
Um,
say I have stumped that program before. I had a book series I was into called River of Time, and I picked the second male lead in that one, and it kept asking me questions and it just could not get it. And it guessed like 3 times, and then finally the program was like, please tell me about this character so I may accurately guess it next time.
yep, I've done that too. Um, but yeah, we thought it would be fun. I have it pulled up already. And the character we're gonna do is Kakaru, the main
Yeah.
guy. We decided to make it hard, but not super hard.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
so
let's
yeah,
do the old guy, the coach who never coached
you
them.
never would guess it. Um, okay, so the first question is asking me to select the theme of the game, and you have the option between character, object, or animals. And I'm gonna do character. Has your character really existed? And the options for like the answer is yes, no, don't know, probably, and probably not.
Oh,
So
yeah, no, I think the story is purely
mm,
fictional.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Based on a real
Um,
race, but the people are not real
y
people.
yes. Is your character a boy? Yes. Does your character wear pants?
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes. Wow. Dude, it's already is your character from a Japanese anime?
Yes.
Yes.
Darn it. We're
Is
so
your
gonna lose.
character black-haired?
Yes, but
Yes.
that's like hundreds of other guys.
Right. Is your character from the Dragon Ball Z franchise?
No.
No. Does your character have powers? No. Does your character fight? No.
Mm-mm.
Does your character have a number on their shirt?
No,
No.
their uniforms don't have numbers. If they wear bibs, they would, but that's not during the Ekiden race. They have sashes. So
But
no.
this thing's totally thinking of Haikyuu, just
Totally.
based on this
I would have said
question.
Kageyama.
Yep. Does your character go to school? Yes. Does your character have a brother or sister? Don't
Maybe.
know. Or is it a no? Or don't know?
Well, don't know. Don't know.
Okay. Is your character in love with someone?
No,
No.
he's in love with running.
Yep. Does your character own a French bulldog?
No. Which
No.
character would that
Yeah,
be?
right? Which character would it be? Huh. Did your character die?
No.
No. Is your character a spaceship captain?
Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, that's what I was. Is your character a high school student? No. Is your character from a children's TV show? No.
No, it's a
Does your character practice skateboarding? No. Is your character older than 18? Yes. Is your character a teacher? No.
no.
Is your character a pioneer?
No.
No. Is your character from Hoops and Yo-Yo? Have you heard of
No. What?
that?
I've heard of Panty and Stocking. Never gonna
Does
watch
your,
it.
does your character wear glasses? No. And we're at question 24 now. Is your character originally from a video game? No.
No.
Is your character a student?
Yeah.
Yes. They
We
kind of
answered
already
that
asked
already.
that. Is your character a painter? No.
No. They would have asked about
Okay. Oh, it did. Okay, that was gonna say it's gonna guess Blue Period, and it did.
yeah.
So I think of oh goodness, Takahashi. Do you remember that character
Did he
from
have
Blue
the
Period?
the moles under his eyes or no?
"Ugh, I can't see in this picture. I think so." And he's thinking I'm tired in the photo.
That must be him. I just remember that one kid who's like, I'm gonna go play Pokemon and go to bed.
Yeah, okay. So I guess character from Blue Period. So I'm gonna say no. Okay. We are now at question 79. Does your
Ugh.
character have blue eyes?
Yes, he does.
Okay. I never remember eye color, so. Is your character's gender female? Wasn't like the first question if he was a boy?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it finally got to the end. It's asking me who are you thinking about? So
Kakeru Kurahara.
yeah, you spelled it out so nicely, so I'll put it in
Yay.
later. But yeah, it could not guess.
Haha.
Um,
We vanquished it.
yeah. No, I'm actually kind of surprised because
Yeah,
like
I mean,
some of the characters that I have put in and it guessed, like
obscure.
yeah,
Like, yeah. Hmm.
but
They need to
I don't
update it.
know. Yep, I will update it so now it'll know next time. Um,
It would have been completely lost if we had done like one of the twins or
yeah,
King or Nico.
totally. Yeah, that's all we've got. Thanks for listening in to this bonus episode. Check out Rum at the Wind if you haven't. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. We will be back next time.
See ya.
Bye.